Hello, this is Douglas with the 2.3 assignment on installing and configuring Ubuntu server under the AWS Academy console dashboard. I'll launch my lab, and under the AWS, if I click on it, leads me to the AWS console management console, where you get the instances under the EC2 dashboard. From there, follow the steps provided to install, to create, launch an instance, and then create, install the server and configure it. So the server created is the IT 210 Promised Land Ubuntu, which is running as seen here. And that's the different the IP address that is there. And since I had already done this before I started the lab, I'll use the different IP address showing. So this shows that I've logged in with SSH. I've connected to the server with SSH. The previous IP address I used was at 34.2.219.75.45. So connection was established. So on using the sheets, I created the login keys. Which are here, and under security, I modified so that I have full ownership or full control of the keys, and so as seen there. And then the welcome, when I connect to the Ubuntu via Shish, there's the welcome message giving the documentation, management, and support. It also gives the system information and the date of log and the different memory usage. Goes on to give the different updates that were applied. So in this instance, it's a 0 update applied. The pw command changes, lists the present working directory or the current working directory. So I'm under /home/Ubuntu, Ubuntu being the user. And then when I type the exit, it logs me out of the, logs me out and disconnects or closes the connection to the server. As I've seen, when I log back, logs me back into the server, still providing the same information. Using touch, I created my file, the touch command to create my file. When I list, ls gives me the file in the directory that I created, list the file I created. The ls-l gives me the file that I created, including the ownership and the date and time. Using the mk directory or make directory command, I created my directory, which again, when ls command -l is used or -l is used, gives in detail the various properties of the files. The alias command gives me this different aliases, using the rm to remove my file and rmdir to remove my directory. ls command lists now file in the folder. The cd/command takes me back to the root. So it takes me back to the root directory. Under root directory, if I try to create the /data, indicates that I have no permission or permission is denied. So the sudo command, running sudo mkdir data /data1 helps me create that. So sudo helps admins run commands with privileged root privilege temporarily. So sudo bypasses permission restriction under here. So that's why it's been created. If I list that, I see that the data is under my root. The /data1 is under my root, so is owned by root. Who am I command indicates or lists who I am or reveals my privileges or my username. So I found out that I'm Ubuntu. So using the sudo change ownership command of the to change that the ownership of data1 file, which now gives me as its owner. It's indicated there. So this shows when I do ls -l shows that I own the data, or it's now owned by the the user. Data1 is owned by the user. So dh running the df-h or redirecting it to data1 and server1. So the cat command lists it as this, the output, the uname -a command is done here. Then we have the output for the cat command or the username command, the IP, listing the IP here as well. There's the user PS auxiliary grep. And then there's the information provided under that. The history command lists all commands that have been executed. This helps system administrators when auditing or repeating tasks. Exit logs me out of the system. maybe next to the questions in the task, is the output less the output of, or list the output of df of this command. So the output is not included. This because the AU or the uname overwrote that output. Sudo command temporarily grants root privileges for specific commands to a user. And then the other question is, what is stored in the etc/etc/password and /etc/shadow files? The /etc/password stores user account information like username and user IDs, while /etc/shadow files stores encrypted passwords and security settings. That is it. Thank you.